Phyllis Pelt. Today we will discuss returning to exercise after experiencing an unexpected break in daily physical activity. We will also learn the strategies used to reestablish your routine. We'll ask our participants how they handle challenges that interfere with their physical activity routine. We'll hear about these challenges and what they did to get back on track. What things are going on in your life that caused you to be unable to participate in your physical activity for a week or more?
Mainly family issues that come up that you can't control all the time. And I say that because I had to allow myself to accept the fact that I couldn't control it. So I needed to let the walk go. And because I don't like my program changed, I found that an issue to work through. To say, no, you can't do it today. You're going to have to let it go. And even if you don't get through it to the week, you need to deal with this now. So there are things with families that you just can't control. You can't put in a neat little package. I have to teach myself that's not the end of the world. You can still walk next week. So let it go. Don't pine over it. And I give myself these little talks quite a bit, little personal kicks in the fannies to say, move on and get past this.
The reason that I had my joint replacements is because the pain got so intense that it interfered with normal activities. I had to cut back on the walking, but I walked with a cane.
How were you able to get back on track and start doing physical activity regularly again?
Very slowly back on track. Just began walking and picking up my daily routine, which was, as I said, walking fast.
Today I'm going to walk. Today I'm going to do something. And if today it didn't happen, then I forgive myself because tomorrow's a new day. I think it's easy to get discouraged and then give up altogether. And you can't do that. And so rather than set these really long-term goals that might be difficult to achieve, I think starting small.
I take time to work back up. Like I'm up to 8,000 steps now, but I won't hit 8,000 every day depending on what's happening. And I'm learning to, as long as I make my last goal that I was at, and that's 7, I feel good. I'm also learning that if I'm not going to make the goal at all, to do 5,000 around the house. That's an increase over my 2,500 to 3 that I was doing when I wasn't doing anything. So I figured that out for myself that, okay, so if you're not going to do your goal, at least make it better than it was when you were sitting all day.
Well, you do have to start slowly if you've been away from it, because you just can't go out there and do 10,000, 9,000, 8,000 steps. You do work into it, and you would have to do your warm-up before and after.
By forcing myself to do what it is I know I need to do. I just get up and go, because once you get off track, it's easier to stay off than it is to push back. And I know that if I don't push back, I'll let it go another week. So part of me refuses to allow that. For some reason, part of me refuses because I wouldn't be true to me. I don't really know why. I feel like I'm letting me down. Not someone else, I'm letting me down. And so I have a problem with letting me down when I know I can do something.
Do you have any tips on how to make physical activity a regular habit?
I would suggest that people who have gotten out of a routine and need to get back into a routine, I would suggest that they start with little goals and even daily goals.
I love shopping, so I get a lot of steps in by shopping. When I go to the grocery store, I make it a point to walk in the outside aisles for a couple of rounds of that particular store and then begin my grocery shopping.
I think you just have to keep going. You can't. It's a lifetime commitment. It is. Whether it's 2 or 3 days a week, it really doesn't matter. Whether it's 4 or 5 days a week, if you can do that. Even if it's 10, 15 minutes here and 10, 15 minutes there. It's part of a routine. You just have to do it.
I park the farthest away from any entrance to make sure that I get in more steps. And I'll walk where I normally would drive to. In my apartment, I have a long hall from my living room to the dining room. It's about 20 feet. And I walk up and down that hall, back and forth. And I get plenty of steps. And I noticed on my Fitbit, when I'm trying to reach a goal, I just walk back and forth and I get my steps in and I do reach my goal.
They have to have a schedule, be self-motivated, have the right clothing, have a walking buddy, and just know how wonderful it is to feel better, that you're really doing something, the best thing you can do for yourself health-wise, because it does affect your brain and your heart and your whole body. So it's the best medicine, I guess, walking.
I need to do this many more now to get my 5,000 because I didn't go out today. So it gets to be a kind of game with yourself. For lack of a better word, it's really playing games with yourself. But that's what I call it, and it works for me. You're going to have to decide for yourself that it's important. Because until I accepted that it was important and being motivated by someone that I felt genuinely had my interest, it really made a difference. But even that, we know already it's important, but being motivated to take the action is what holds us back. Because I don't think there's a person you talk to that don't know they need to exercise. It's getting up to do it. So we need some kind of motivation, some kind of stimulus, along with our own inner knowledge that is for our benefit. I had to start in stages based on my health. And for many women older, they come in with issues too. But be adamant about even that little time that you carve out for yourself. That probably is the biggest thing you're going to have to do, is to learn to be adamant about you and what you want to do.
Dr. Lynn Braun, our clinical expert and nurse practitioner at the Rush Heart Center for Women, will provide valuable information on how to safely return to a physical activity routine after illness or injury, and how your routine may change as a result of these challenges. Let's hear what she has to say. How do you safely come back to physical activity after illness or injury?
Prior to the illness or injury, if a woman's been walking 30 minutes a day at a particular pace, she's not going to be able to do that after illness or injury. So she may start back by walking only 5 minutes twice a day. So it's important to build back up and to start slowly. And let your provider know what your goals are for physical activity so they can help tailor a program to you or at least advise you appropriately.
Can you do some type of physical activity when you are recovering from an illness or injury?
The important thing is that you move as soon as it can move. And even if that means that you need to engage in chair exercises, you can do a lot of upper body motion. You know, you can do reaches and various stretches. Moving, period, is better than no movement at all.
We hope that you now have some additional ideas on how to stick with your physical activity routine, despite life events, either physical or emotional. We know you are excited to keep moving. thank you for watching this video. And remember, love self, embrace health.